Welcome to the Boston's Big Four podcast. Cast. New news about music and sports every week, sometimes.
Okay. All right.
All right.
All right. We got a lot to talk about. Let's go.
Sick. We're actually rolling. We did a cold open, so we're just ready.
Oh, we're
Yeah,
rolling?
We're rolling right now.
Welcome back. Another episode, Boston's Big Podcast. We got Ant Thomas with us. Welcome. Welcome. That's nice. We love that. So, you've been dropping some music lately. You got
Right.
you got an EP on the way. I mean, you've dropped 2 singles from it recently, right?
I have.
And then you got 3 more to go.
I do have 3 more to go.
Okay. So, and then when we look at your music on Spotify, you hadn't released anything in a long time, right?
I hadn't.
So, what have you been up to?
That was so open ended. Like, what have I been up to? Like,
What have you
in like the last week?
No, since you last started releasing music.
Okay, since I last started releasing music, so I really was focused on the product, like building
Okay.
up the product. I really wanted to just have a vault of music, and so that was pretty much all I was doing. Is just like I got to the point. We had some off-camera discussions about Boston, and I was a little frustrated with like running the circuit and feeling like if I keep running the circuit, I don't know what this is gonna do for me. So let me just make some better music. And so that's mostly what I was really focused on, just trying to make the best product that I deem the best that I could do.
Yeah.
And so now I'm sitting on some music, and so I got the EP, the Privilege Pack EP, and then I got the IMC LP coming. But right now we focused on the Privilege Pack EP.
Right. So, outside of music, what have you been up to since you were releasing music before?
Oh wow, that's a good question. This is serious. You can't-
I'm just, like you've obviously you're a busy guy. You were saying before, you never really stop moving. Like you're always doing something.
Yeah. So I am always moving and shaking. So the things that I say that I'm mostly focused on are art, business, and community.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm always creating art. I'm always making some type of business transactions, and I'm always building the community. So I would say in the last 5 years or so, while I've been pretty quiet on the scene musically, I've been active as far as I sit on like 4 boards at the time right
Okay.
now. So
Really? For
Yeah.
which boards?
I was on the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute board. That's an organization that helps people who lose their loved ones to homicide.
Mm.
I'm currently on the Tent City board. That's the neighborhood I grew up in, and that's like a neighborhood where people protested in like the 60s, 70s to build housing rather than a parking garage for the Copley Mall. So people protested to build housing. So it's a third deeply affordable, a third moderately affordable, and a third market. So it's one of the like only housing developments like that in the country. So I sit on that board. I'm on the Arts Education Committee for the Bach Center. So it helps 60 students with singing, acting, and dancing. The 60 students have internships that are related to singing, acting, and dancing. I'm actually going to speak to them on Thursday, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
So I named 3. That may be it for now, because
That's a lot.
Things have been.
I mean,
right.
that's got to be like multiple full-time jobs, getting all that
Yeah.
like organized and stuff. That's crazy.
It's a lot. It's a lot. I would say it is a lot. It's a lot of meetings to make. And those I don't get paid for. But like, it's rewarding. And then I throw events too. So like I got a crew. I got a couple crews. a couple people that I collaborate with, and I do events, and I do events on my own too.
Are these events related to or of your own too? So I guess they're all kinds, not just related to these organizations like music events and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I actually do. So like last year, I threw. So my project is called the Privilege Pack EP,
Mm.
but I threw a privilege party, and I raised about like $10,000 for 5 different organizations, and
Wow.
3 of the organizations were organizations that I named, the Peace Institute. It wasn't Tent City Cathedral High School. That's my high school, so I raised money for them as well. Hoop Hop was one of the organizations that I raised funds for. The Participatory Budgeting Project and the Bach Center. So those are the 5 that I gave funds to for the privilege party.
That's awesome.
So like I do help with like raising funds for those organizations and just give it directly to them.
Nice. No, that's awesome. I feel like more people need to do things like that because it's super powerful. Like you're using your influence to to help all these people. Yeah, philanthropic as well as artistic.
Word. I
Big
mean,
stuff.
to be honest though, like if I didn't have some of the platforms for me, I don't know which way I really would have went. So it's important to me to like still provide those or be in the back providing those type of opportunities for our young people coming up because I needed those. And those are kind of what helped me believe. Like I've been a part of theater since I was a young kid. I can remember one of my plays getting selected to get acted out by adults, and I was 12 years old.
Damn.
And
Wow.
and I got paid for that, and that was like
Really?
At
Oh my
12
God.
years old?
at 12 I was getting paid.
Damn.
Published.
Right. Published, exactly.
Crazy.
And those are the little things that help me believe.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, that's cool. And like, yeah, it's funny. I've heard the phrase before. It's like, be the person you needed when you were a kid. So when you think about like, I see these kids who like these things. If I was in their position, what would I need? Like, how maybe I can help someone out there. That's awesome. All these boards, you're busy all the time. We're talking about the music. We're talking about like you're pretty busy, and this is something that we talked a little bit about off mic. You've been used to this. Like you've been busy for a while. It's kind of something that's been in your schedule. You mentioned you do theater. So in addition to all this stuff, when you were growing up, like what was your schedule like? Because I know you were into sports and stuff like that. So
what age are we talking about?
any age. I mean, whenever the passion started, I'm guessing probably like middle school ish time,
It's
right?
funny because I've really been doing it. And actually that. So since you said that, like we can talk about middle school.
Okay.
So we'll keep it there. We'll keep it at middle school. So in 7th grade, right, I was playing Pop Warner football. I can remember waking up to do my homework. I went to Latin school in 7th grade.
Oh man.
So I was waking up early. I was going to Pop Warner after school, going to Pop Warner football practice, eating dinner, and I was like, there's no way I can do homework right now. So I can remember waking up early to do my homework, to go to Latin school, because Latin school is not a school where you can play around
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Right. You got to do your homework.
Right. You got to really just, so I can remember making that sacrifice early on. And so it was just like a lot of sacrifices in 7th grade, 8th grade, middle school age. But then also I can remember there were times where I was supposed to be paying attention and I was writing raps. I was drawing little sketches on the side of my paper. And so like I was paying attention to that too. And I actually came up with a rap group when I was in middle school. So like while like kids were just going to school and I was like playing on, eventually after when I was in 8th grade, I played on like freshman football for Latin school, freshman basketball for Latin school, and I had a rap group in my neighborhood, Tent City. It was a few of us. We had a rap group called Lethal Minds, and I still actually, Tag was at the listening party.
Okay.
So Tag who's my current producer today, was in the first group that we had, Lethal Minds. Tag is a
Damn.
couple years older
That's
than me.
sick story.
I
That's
love
going
that.
in the book.
Yeah,
Right.
I love that. It's going in the documentary.
That's exciting.
Yeah, yeah. So it was fire. So yeah, in middle school, I was doing like shows. That was cool. That was
In freshman year of high school, you were doing shows.
8th grade.
8th grade,
That's
you were doing
crazy.
shows.
Yeah, we
Damn,
talking
where
like
were these?
I can remember like we were doing like little talent shows, but we were winning.
Oh,
Like
okay.
some of them were like worth money and stuff. Like we didn't know what
Okay.
we were doing. We were like going to Gap buying like matching shirts.
Oh God.
I love
So you sold your first play at 12, and you're getting paid for shows at 8th grade. You jumped right into it. That's crazy.
Yeah, I did, and then I fell back. So like,
Was
so
that
my-
still in high school, or
And
did it?
by the time I got to high school, my friends were actually like Tag and another person I was in our group called Stacks. They came up with a group, and oh my gosh, they were called Loose Notes, and Tag and Stacks were called Loose Notes, and they formed their own group that was outside of me. And that kind of left me outside.
No
And so I was
way.
just like,
You're just writing diss bars on that
Yeah.
like, all day?
no, I actually was just like, all right, they're forming a group, and then they had a manager, and it was like it bees like that entertainment. So I was like,
That's annoying.
I'm just gonna play basketball. Like I'm just gonna focus on basketball and football.
Yeah.
What happened? Is that manager did that work out at all?
With them,
Yeah.
they dropped a couple albums. They did well, and like Tag, I would say Tag has like a lot of industry. He's produced a lot of records for industry people,
okay.
people in the industry, and he actually it was a while back now. He had the Let Me Explain. He had the theme music for that. It was a narcissist. That was the name of the record. So he had the theme music for that. So that I would say that was his biggest success. But even like I still loved that music. So like I was in college, like Loose Notes. You got to know about Loose Notes. So I was.
Okay.
So I just
So
turned
you
into
weren't
like.
mad. I mean,
No, I wasn't. I mean,
Yeah.
I got a football scholarship to Bryant. Like, what is there to be mad about?
Crushing it.
There we go. we got to talk about your sports career.
Right.
So you first we'll talk about football since you just mentioned it. You played football at Bryant.
I did. I played football.
So when did you start playing football?
Football, I would say my first memories of football started in when I lived in Rosendale, playing in the street.
Okay.
So like playing with my big bro Riz and my father, like playing in the
Okay.
street.
Word. So when did you start playing like organized football?
Organized wasn't too long after that. I was like 8 years old. I played for the Boston Raiders.
Okay.
I can remember I walked from Tent City to 1010 Mass Ave. That's a long walk if you
Yeah.
don't know.
Carrying all your
Yeah,
pads
yeah.
too?
When at first, no, I just walked there myself to get the paperwork to
Okay,
bring to
yeah.
my mom. Like, Mom, I want to do this,
Mhm.
and you got to sign me up. and she did, and I'm really happy that she did because that was my first introduction to football, and I just kept going with it.
Word. So basketball, we were just talking earlier about hoop hop before we started the podcast, and we've been on a constant search to find the best basketball playing artists around. We just want to know who it is because
Well,
we know
it
there's
keeps
a lot
coming up.
There's a lot. Yeah, it keeps coming up. Like
Yeah.
there's
Keeps
we've
coming
had,
up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
multiple people have said that they're nice.
Dot-
And no one's better.
M. Dot. Who else?
D White. I don't know if you know him.
Right? Okay. Who
Philly
else?
G also said that.
Philly G.
I don't know if he
And you
claimed
know
to be
what-
the best.
You
but
know what? Bakari JB has
Yeah.
a basketball tournament that he does every year called
Hoop
Hoop Hop,
Right.
which is what I said I give funds to.
Yes.
I support it. So anybody who wants to smoke, let me look in the camera. Anybody who wants to smoke,
I love this.
show up. It's August 20th. Sign-ups is
We gotta
getting
go.
close.
We gotta go.
And,
yeah, I'd love
and
to
I'm gonna win the whole thing, and I'm gonna win MVP. And I mean,
And you've won MVP before, right?
So something,
and I've won the whole thing in MVP before. And if you doubt that that's not the truth, put your money up.
Okay.
Oh, money, big bills,
So
Skrelly
who-
bucks,
Big bills.
Skrelly
so
bucks.
you,
That's
all
a
right.
callback.
So you claim that you're the best.
It's not a claim.
It's okay. So you are the best.
Yes, it's facts.
But you have
So-
won it, so you.
So you have won it. So you can say that.
I would if we were to tally it up, I would say that I've won Hoop Hop and MVP more times than what the actual event has existed.
Who's got the receipts?
Who's the
Well,
next?
I
Who's
believe
the
you.
next best after you?
After me, see that's the thing about hoop hop is like a lot of people ain't still some people are staying in hoop shape, but they ain't staying in rap shape. So,
So actually, I was curious if we've heard about hoop hop. We have been told it's like a big event, like we could almost have, because we talked about the reason it even was brought up is because we said we would do like Boston's Big Shootout, and someone was like, "Oh, like hoop hop," and then we learned about it. But and they said there could be like a section of like Boston's Big Four's section of hoop hop. Like, what could you draw me the picture? Because I don't really know exactly what it'd be like.
So this year, in the past they've done 5-on-5, but this year it's gonna be 3-on-3.
Okay.
So like I know that LFOD, you know LFOD?
Yeah.
LFOD is already involved, and I know that they help do like some media coverage, but like it's a big collaboration. Like there's all types of artists, so
Yeah.
like you all are media too. So I feel like Boston Big Four could definitely
We could definitely
have a setup,
involved.
We'll do
Yeah.
some street talk.
or like be like.
And we're into sports too, so it's
Yeah.
like
I could see you all like MCing the game and like
that would be great. I would
talking
love
some
that.
shit.
So I was gonna say, I'm like, how does it work? Like, is there a DJ? Is someone bringing people up
DJ,
in
people
between?
perform. Like
Oh, sick.
sometimes
It's a
there's
big
like
event, yeah.
freestyles.
Oh, okay. Is there like, are we grilling and stuff?
We're indoors this year, so
Oh.
I do think that there may be, so it's at the Roxbury YMCA.
Okay.
So I do think there may be a grill, like there's an
Like
outdoor
outside?
area.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
there may be a grill outside.
Okay.
Bakari, he usually take care of the people.
Yeah.
Man. He know how to take care.
Shout
of
out
people, so-
Bakari JB.
Right. Shout out to my dog, Bakari. We also went to school together.
Really?
I went to school with a lot of Boston artists.
You went to school with Avenue you mentioned earlier?
Yeah, Avenue. I went to school with Avenue.
Was he rapping at that time?
He started rapping. He's younger than me, so he started putting out his raps after I already graduated.
Okay.
But I want to say he was in high school when I was like, oh, all right, you got some bars.
Yeah.
And I think I was still only, so like I said, I wrote theater, and then I also did poetry.
Yeah.
So like the raps, I was doing the raps in middle school, but like the raps weren't always just my main thing.
Yeah.
So Avenue came out rapping.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was really impressed by his raps. I thought he was really good. And in high school, I nicknamed him Too Cool. He was one of the dudes. He was just like, he had a too cool little attitude about him. He was always like
yeah.
how his brand is now.
He
he's
does
a
have
cool
that,
guy.
that aura about him.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I love that about like the Boston hip hop scene is that I feel like a lot of the dudes who are starting to pop off now, like him and Millie's and Bia and whatnot, like they're in their 30s. Like they've been doing this for a while. You know what I mean? And they never gave up.
Right.
Like that's the thing I love. And like with you too, like even though you didn't drop music for a while, like it's in you. Like you can't stop. Like you had to put something out eventually, right?
Absolutely.
So it's like you just never gave up on that. So what was it that inspired you really to put this EP out, the Privilege Pack? And what was it that told you, all right, I need to get back into music and put something out?
So I was just in Ohio, and I was in Ohio watching a poetry show. One of my younger bros, Atlas, he's a poet. He does shows with Broken English, and they do shows once a month. And somebody asked, like, if you don't need validation, why are you still putting out your art? And I don't need validation at all. I'm at that point where like I said, I was doodling and writing since I was in middle school.
Yeah.
So I really do it for me.
Right.
But I would say what made me package it up and put it out is the people like, yo, Ant, yo, bro, that's fire. Yo, I need that.
Mm-hmm.
That was exactly what I needed. Keep going. So I would say that those people are the people that,
And that was
that's why the
then-
Privilege Pack
They were responding to songs that you had showed them that you hadn't put out yet.
Well, I did a lot of I would still put out songs on SoundCloud,
Yeah. Okay.
on YouTube. So there was music that I was still putting out on SoundCloud, YouTube, and like, you know, media companies like FOD is like, oh, we got a freestyle.
Mhm.
Come pull up. And I'm like, yeah, I still do this. Let me
Right.
exercise my bars. Like, let me get up there
Yeah.
real quick.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you know, that kept it going, and that kept people interested, and yeah, people just like, yo, bro, keep doing it. And so that's really why I really put it out, is that like there's a lot of people that I feel like believe in me and believe in what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And so it's like, let me keep putting these messages out.
I think that was evident when I went to your album listening party, and it was like, you haven't put out music in a while, but there was a lot of people there, and they wanted to hear what you had to say. You know, they wanted to hear what the music was all about. And I remember one dude, like, after he was like, this sounds like professional music. And that's exactly what I was thinking when I listened to it. I was like, this dude sounds like he's been in the studio for the last, few years, like really perfecting his craft. Like it sounds like that. And, it was just interesting to me, like that you were able to just jump back into it and just have that sound that was able to resonate with so many people.
Word. I feel like I really pride myself. I've been working on just trying to put out, I want to create timeless music. So like,
Yeah.
I don't want to make music that's here today, gone tomorrow.
Right.
So like,
Right.
I really want to make music that resonates with people, that the message resonates with people, that like, And so that's while I was like, I'm not crazy about putting music out. It's like, let me create music that people want to listen to over and over again, that has playback ability, that like people need. And like,
Absolutely.
that's the music that like I know. It's like, let me keep going, let me keep creating. It's because people are literally like, yo, bro, keep doing that.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So that venue that you hosted that event at, what was that? That was
My man,
it was pretty cool. Like, I want to throw shows there or something if we can. Like, I love that place.
So that's Studio 197. My bro. Speaking of sports, and I love that y'all are super deep in when it comes to sports.
Mhm.
I love that. So one of my friends, close friends, Anthony Gurley, somebody that I would say I grew up in the trenches playing sports, basketball. He won 2 championships at Newton North.
Okay. Local legend.
Right, exactly. Definitely a local legend. It's actually his father owned the spot, and now he owns the spot and he's running the spot.
Okay.
And so it's Studio 197. Super private as of now.
Yeah.
But
It felt very exclusive being there. I was like, I feel privileged to be in this place. You know what I
word,
mean?
exactly. It's like
It's like people are lighting up blunts in there. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, I should have brought my weed. What the hell?
Right. If you know, you know. It's like one of those spots like you gotta know.
Mhm.
And you were one of the people that were in the know, and that's what I thought was fire too. We had a room full of people, and you really had to know to be there.
Right.
And there was media people that like love me from knowing I'm working on the music. So it was a good vibe.
It was a great vibe. And you had headphones for everybody.
Yeah.
Which I've been to like a few listening parties at this point, and that's the first time that's happened.
Headphones
actually.
for everybody?
Yeah, like when you go to a museum and everyone gets headphones to listen to everything.
What kind of headphones?
It was somebody who I was working through, somebody that works on my team, Danielle. She has
Shout
a
out
friend.
Danielle.
Shout out to Danielle. She was the plug in that situation. One of her friends owns like a headphone, but I had put it out there like I want it to be a listening party where people listen to it on headphones. Like I want it to be
I
like a
loved that.
silent party.
Yeah.
Because I don't want people talking.
No distractions.
Nothing. I don't
Right.
want people talking while my music is playing. I want everybody just be quiet and listen.
collect everyone's phones on their
Yeah.
way in too.
Right,
Like,
right,
you
right.
can't
I
look
should've.
at Instagram.
You did.
Yeah.
Actually, there were a couple people that showed up late, and you fucking gave it to them.
Oh yeah,
That
I
was
did. I
hilarious.
had to.
You were like, "Don't start dapping people up. You showed up late. Go sit down and get your headphones."
Oh my god, that is hilarious.
I had to, because it's like, yo, you're not about to mess up my listening session because you was late.
Okay, so I have to apologize for missing it because Jack did tell me about this and I didn't make it that night. But I'm curious how'd that start? So like just straight through, and everyone like at one point sat down and listened and like had basically a time with it, so it was otherwise quiet in the room.
So you know, I'm an athlete. I'm a theater person. I'm an artiste. So it was a presentation.
Love that.
It
love
really
that.
was.
Eh,
Were there visuals
And
too?
we had food from Rhythm and Raps too.
Yep.
Ooh,
Food
shout
from
out Rhythm and Raps.
Shout out to Rhythm and Raps.
Yep.
Shout out Paranom.
So
Actually, I don't know. Is he even there anymore? Probably not.
who?
Paranom.
you know
he used to work
Paranom?
there.
Oh, I'm not sure if he still works there, but I know my man Justin works there. He's one of the owners, and
Okay.
Aaron, I believe, is also one of the owners. So, Aaron, I believe, is the owner, the founder. So, you know, I actually filmed the scene. So that's one thing I didn't talk about on my Privilege Pack. I spoke about it at the listening party. So at the listening party, I presented a couple videos of me like working towards what I've been doing, and there's more footage of the process. Shout out to my cousin Minchu. He's pretty much the person that catches the BTS of literally everything that I'm doing.
Okay.
And so we showed that, but we also spoke about how Privilege Pack is going to be a short film. So I've been working on a short film, like, and you know, we've been talking about theater. So like the Privilege Pack, I really just wanted it to be me. And so, and with it being me, it's merch. Shout out to my dog
Yes.
Jack wearing the merch. You know what I mean? It's the merch. It's clothing. You know, it's fashion. It's theater. It's me. It's a little bit of me acting. It's music. You know, it's business. It's community, which is I raised 10,000 and gave it to the community. So the Privilege Pack is just like me, all the way.
Love
and
that.
And yeah, so we're gonna do like I'm definitely gonna invite both of y'all. So Owen, you can't miss.
I won't miss this one.
You can't.
Cannot miss the premiere when we release the short film. I believe we'll do it in September, maybe October.
Okay. I just want you to know that I'm busy that day. I'm just kidding. I will definitely be there.
I love that. So I'm busy that day. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna have to use that line, even if I don't know the
Didn't
date.
even give you a date.
Just to let you know. Just to let you know. I don't know the date, but I'm busy.
Whatever
that
day that is, I got something going on.
I'm sorry. I just had to. I went for it. That was like my moment.
I love that.
I loved it.
That was good.
Now I'm excited though. I love the listening party vibe. We've only I went
I'm a
to.
big fan of listening parties.
I've only gone to one. The one time
I
with
saw you
Smoke.
at the Terminology listening party. Both of
I
you were
was.
there,
Yep,
actually.
Yep. I was
Yes.
at the Terminology.
That was a
listening
good
party.
time. A lot of good people in the building. That was
Word.
fun. That was a lot of fun. I love listening parties. Shout out to Bedlam. Keep inviting us to listening parties.
Word.
Big shouts, Bedlam. Thank you.
Word. Big shout out to Bedlam, man. I mean, my dog Brandon always putting in his work.
He really is.
And then you said to both of you, like, I mean, we got Cake Swag in the cut too.
Yes. Cake Swag is here.
Yeah,
Right,
that's
right,
an
right.
Easter egg episode. Easter egg.
But yeah, no, that was a good
I
time.
know that
I love
that
the
interview is probably gonna come up soon, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Cake
We'll get
Swag?
that scheduled. We'll get it in the schedule tonight.
Yeah, we can
We'll figure
actually
it out,
book
yeah.
that. Yeah.
I heard
very
it's hard.
soon.
I heard it's hard to book her. You know.
Yeah.
You know.
Hey,
Months
She
out.
be booked and busy, so you know. It's tough. It's
You know,
tough.
yeah. High demand. But, you know, we're working on that. We'll get Bia soon too.
Word. Exactly.
be
Bia got to come through. Bia, you know, I said I'm a businessman, so I used to throw parties. I remember Bia pulled up to one of my events, and she was rapping back
Let's
then.
go.
Pulled up to one of my
I
events.
love
I'm
that.
like, yo, Bia, I see what you doing. Like, keep going. I remember I was one of those people that told Bia,
Mm.
keep going. I didn't.
That's fire.
I didn't know she was gonna do what she did.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
But
now
no,
slow down.
I
No,
love
I'm
hearing
just kidding.
stories like that because then you know, like she's really been around for a while. Like
For
people
sure.
know her. We had Lord Jew on last night. She's like a good friend of hers.
Mm.
Like she knows people in the scene. She's been around. She put her work in, just like Millie's did, just like a lot of people did. And
I can remember
An
being on
Avenue
stage with Millie's at UNH probably like 10 years ago.
that's
No
crazy.
way.
Yeah, so
crazy.
like, so the
So
people
you
that
did the college circuit performing?
I did the college circuit, man. I did
Oh,
every
man.
circuit. I performed at Norfolk Prison. Like,
No way.
yeah,
We gotta talk
You're like
about
Johnny
this.
Cash.
a
dude.
couple years, man. A couple years. I was up there with my guys inside, and they had a band and everything. Like I didn't know what to expect, but there were guys
Wow.
up there with a band, and they were appreciative of me. They're like, "Yo, bro, you just like one of us." I'm like, "I am one of you." You know, like we all the same. We just people.
We're human beings.
At
yeah.
the end of the day, like I mean, and we make mistakes and. And literally, unfortunately, there are some people who are paying for their mistakes, and hopefully, you know, our system is definitely not working, but hopefully, you know, some of our people can still have the resiliency to keep pushing and being themselves
Right.
and being that love.
So how'd that opportunity come across performing at Norfolk?
I actually, that was when I was working for a state senator at the time.
Okay.
I mean, she's cool with me mentioning her name. State Senator Sonia Chang Diaz.
Okay.
I
So
used-
I know you've been involved in politics somehow. I wanted to ask you
I
about
was.
Okay.
So I worked for State Senator Sonia Chang Diaz, and she also knows that I'm an artist too. I can remember I actually performed poetry, and she posted it to her Twitter. That like I had a show, I didn't tell her about it, and she posted it to her Twitter. I was like a little embarrassed. I'm like, whoa, how do you know that I do that? But
That's funny. You're like separate worlds.
right,
Yeah.
right. But now I've been doing a good job at being like my full self, is showing up as like my full self.
Mm.
It's a lot because people want to put you in boxes. Everybody
Yeah.
wants to put you in the Rubik's cube.
Mhm.
Like they want to throw you in a box.
Yeah.
Like you do this and just do this. But you know,
Yeah, I mean, you definitely stay busy to the point where like you couldn't put any of these things in boxes. Like I'm only an artist when I'm here, and I'm only on boards when I'm here. You know, it's like it just has to be, however you are. This is how I'm doing all these things. There's no like You guys know the word.
compartmentalization.
Yeah. That's a
Compa-
tough
I heard. I
Compartmentalization.
struggled with
That's a
that
tough
too.
word.
It is a tough. one.
Once I hit it twice, I'm like, I can't. It's over. You guys knew what I meant.
we all knew what you meant. We all
you know what I
you meant.
mean.
If you're listening,
You
then
know what I mean. You know what I meant.
But yeah, no, I think that's definitely something that it comes with maturity too, like knowing, like I'm not putting on masks for certain people in places. This is what it is, and I think gives you probably more brain capacity, like to create then too, because you're not focused so much on switching gears like between whatever you're doing. So, I that's definitely a great way to go about it.
Right. My brother just said that to me, and like I felt good about that. He was like, "Yo, Ace, I seen you take a meeting for your corporate job, and then I seen you take a meeting for your art, for your music." He's like, "And you didn't change, bro. You was the same. Like,
That's
I don't
important.
know how you did that, but you the same. I got to take my hat off to you for that."
Mm.
And so, you know, it took a while. I can't say that because I can remember when I was doing theater, I was the lead of a musical at Bryant, and I didn't tell any of my teammates. And my teammates found out that I was the lead in the musical and like, "Yo, bro, why didn't you tell us, bro? You got to tell us about that stuff." And like, or being in like having
Why
a
were they
show.
mad about
Were you
that?
having a High School Musical situation where they were saying, "Get your head in the game"?
I just think that my friends wanted to support me. And they
Okay.
wanted to
Oh,
be there
okay.
for me.
Oh, okay. So they were
Yeah.
mad that you didn't tell them so they could go and support you.
Yeah.
Damn,
We would've cheered
those are
the
some
shit
good
out of
friends.
you.
Those are some
Yeah,
good
exactly. We would have been there, bro. Cause
Yeah.
honestly, we would like that's one thing that I do love about Bryant, and I think it probably still is the same. Like the football players.
Shout out to Bryant. My mom went there.
Word, shout out to Bryant. Exactly. Jack's mom went to Bryant and Aunt went to Bryant. You gotta pay
Let's go.
attention to the Bulldogs. We out here doing stuff. But yeah, everybody shows up to the football games. Like at Bryant,
Love that.
literally, it felt like everybody in Smithfield showed up and everybody on the campus showed up. So it was to me, it felt like Bryant football players. We understood that, and it was important for us to show up for other communities on campus. So if that was a different sport, if that was art, if that was rugby, we were showing up.
Right.
Okay.
Like there were like 10, 20 of us showing up, acting a fool at your game, at your
Yeah.
rugby game, at your club rugby game that you didn't think nobody was gonna come to.
I love that.
We
I
were
love
pulling
that.
up. We were probably
That's funny.
probably drinking.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Going
though.
crazy.
You need friends like that are gonna
Yeah.
show up for you. You know, whatever you're doing, they're gonna show up.
That is awesome. Yeah, you gotta have your ride or dies.
Absolutely.
For sure. And
Some
you
people
know,
don't have
and
them.
then and now my college friends, a lot of them moved to Southie, and you know we pull up to South. I pull up to their cribs in Southie, and we have a good time. Or they pull
Text
up on
like,
me
yo,
at
the
my
line at
events.
Broadway is not too bad right now.
Right. or yo, bro, I'm not trying to wait in line. Can you help me skip the line, bro? Please.
Yeah.
The old
I know
come
you
out and
know
pretend
somebody.
to smoke a cigarette, and we'll just walk in
Right.
like we've been here together the whole
I
time.
was already
Yeah.
in there.
Oh,
I was in there. You don't recognize my
was-
face?
Yeah, come on. Just out
Oh,
here
man.
smoking a butt.
No big deal. With my homie who was just right here.
Right.
One of my buddies botched that operation one time, and they both had to go wait in the back of the line.
Oh, it's tough.
Damn.
Funny. I mean, doesn't work. Whoever's listening, cut that part out. Cut that part out. It doesn't work.
So you got 3 more singles left
3 more
for
singles.
the EP. So when can we expect the next single?
Tell me how it's gonna. That'll be out within the next couple weeks.
Okay.
Tell
So
me
by
how.
the time this podcast is out, probably
It will
it'll-
probably
it'll be out.
have already dropped by the
Yeah.
time this. We have some banked episodes.
Word. I got the artwork already ready.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah, the artwork is ready. So
I love the artwork, by the way, that
Thank
you've
you.
had so far. Who's in charge of that?
an artist named Ambrosia. Ambrosia,
Okay.
she's really talented. So we kind of have been going for a more like minimalist look.
Mm-hmm.
Not trying to do too much. But you still see what's going on.
Yeah. I remember the was it the Feel Me artwork? It was like it was like you said, it was very minimalist, like not too much going on, but you could tell it was very Boston just like by looking at it.
Right, exactly. That's you know, in the film and my music and
Yeah.
it's like without saying Boston, because I feel like I've done
Just like
that
little
too.
hints at like landmarks and
This
shit
is
like
us.
that. Like yeah.
This is us. This is who
Exactly.
we are. And
It's like if you're from around here, you're gonna recognize little pieces of that.
if you
like
know,
that.
you know.
If you know, you know. Exactly.
Is that a tag? Is that something I'm missing?
That's that's a Pusha T line.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
I
If you
mentioned
know, you
and
know.
in Feel Me, I said, if you don't know, then you don't know though. So I definitely referenced Pusha T. I said, push your
Okay.
money in the streets and you ain't
Mhm.
recoup the cost. If you don't know, then you don't know though. So it was definitely a Pusha T reference.
Shout out Pusha T.
Right. Shout out to Pusha T because that man got the bars.
He does. He's one of those rappers who gets better and better with age.
When was the last time he
It's
dropped?
crazy. Recently.
Yeah, he
Really?
Tom Brady just said he had the album of the year.
Am I out of touch?
Yeah, you are.
Hate to break
You
it
are
to
a
you,
little
Owen.
bit.
I
You are a
am.
little
Yeah.
bit.
I
Yeah, you
think I'm
gotta
out of
tap
touch.
in. You gotta tap in.
I didn't realize Pusha T put out music.
Yeah, dude. Always.
I goofed.
Always.
And
Also,
Tom Brady said it was the best album.
Is
of the
that
year.
true? Because I really am looking like a goof.
Is that true? You
Yeah.
think I would get up on live camera and radio and tell you Tom Brady said Pusha T had the album of the year?
I'll tell you what. I'm certainly not paying attention to what Tom Brady's doing right now. I don't follow him anywhere, so I don't know.
you don't follow Tom Brady on Instagram?
No,
That's crazy.
I don't follow anybody who has like too many followers on Instagram because I already got them.
What's too many followers?
Because they
Like
already
millions,
got 'em.
like, I don't
They
follow The
need me.
Rock.
Okay. All right, me either. I don't do that either.
I
You don't follow Tom
like,
Brady?
Kevin Hart. I don't follow these people.
I don't follow any of these people either.
Okay.
I'm like, if one day I meet you and we cool, and you follow me, I'll follow you back.
Yeah.
Yo, no lie. Like I got my man Jonah Lucas on the gram. That's my dog.
He follows you?
He follows me back.
Hell yeah.
We met in
That's dope.
person. We met in person. We built. That's my man.
That's how followers
alright.
should be.
So you like
Yeah.
Joyner Lucas?
He's a cool guy. I
Yeah.
met his family. We were hanging out. Like it was a good time.
Word. I
Well,
like to hear that. I like
well,
the camaraderie.
I mean, we spoke about it at the listening party.
Yeah.
We have a friend. We have a friend in common.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know. We've heard different opinions from people who have met Joyner Lucas.
I think
really?
some
Yeah.
people are just bitter about
Some people
the
are
thing.
bitter.
We were talking about.
I
this
think
was
he's a
off
good
mic.
guy.
We were talking about the whole moving away thing, which we've had that conversation before.
Oh yeah, you got
And
to.
I think people just do get bitter about that. you
That
know?
is
People
so-
moving
yeah.
away, but I
Yeah.
mean, you got. We were speaking about this off camera too. Is that Boston? I feel like we celebrate teams. We don't celebrate individuals.
Yes, we need to talk
celebrate
about
the
this.
Commonwealth.
I forgot we didn't talk about
We
this.
don't
on camera.
celebrate
We need to
individuals.
talk about this. All right. So you think the issues that we have in the music scene right now, like where you think it has something to do with just Boston, our mentality as a whole, and it kind of shows itself in the sports scene as well, right?
Absolutely.
So Tom Brady was here for 20 years, won 6 Super Bowls. You feel like he never was appreciated as an individual the way that he should have been?
Yeah, I feel like shout out to Bill Belichick. I'm gonna shout you out, bro. But at the same time, bro, you got it. I'm gonna look in the camera. You got to treat people as individuals.
Mm.
I understand that you want to build a team, but it's okay to show people love as individuals.
At a certain point, like when someone like Tom Brady has won his 5th or 6th Super Bowl, it's okay to start treating him like he's a little better than the rest of the team because he is. It's
I
like-
mean,
right.
he's the person that's keeping up your franchise.
Right.
There are people coming to play with Tom Brady. They're not coming
right
for the Patriots. They really I want to come to play with Tom Brady. I know
Yeah.
he does play with the Patriots, and most likely we're gonna win a championship because Tom Brady is here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's okay to give him that because
Absolutely.
he put in the
we always
hours.
used to have the Brady Belichick conversation, so now we're leaning the Brady way.
Oh, of course.
For
Absolutely.
sure,
It's
yeah.
Brady 100% now.
yeah.
I mean,
He
Bel-
won a Super Bowl without us. He went
That's
to Tampa
right.
and won a
I
Super
know.
Bowl without
I know
us.
it was definitely a powerful message.
Yeah. It's like, I don't need you.
and he tossed the Lombardi trophy
dude, that was wild. Yeah.
over the water.
He did. That was crazy.
Thankfully, it got caught, but like he didn't care if it dropped.
No.
He was just
Yeah.
He was like, this is the best day of my life.
like, you gotta understand. I did it with and without. Like
Right.
I am me. Respect me.
Yes.
And so yeah, Tom Brady. I mean,
So you were saying like there wasn't enough billboards up of Tom Brady around, and like Paul Pierce too. Like we didn't give enough respect to him. And we tend to. We love the team and we love the success that the team brings, but once the individuals are gone, we're kind of like, forget about them.
right? Like,
Yeah.
why doesn't Tom Brady have a statue in Boston
You're right.
or
No,
or-
that's true.
or at Foxborough? Why doesn't he? Tom
at
Brady.
Foxborough, at least. Why the hell is there not one at Foxborough? I mean, come
Tom
on.
Brady.
He built that place.
He literally, like, he's the reason why we call Boston the city of champs. I mean,
Yeah.
Mm.
like, yeah, the Celtics back Bill Russell days, yeah, we won a whole bunch of championships back then. Larry Legend days, we won a whole bunch of championships back then. But right now, in the current day, we are currently talking about Boston being the city of champs because of Tom Brady. Why don't
Right.
we have a statue of Tom Brady? And
We should.
I feel like and I just think that we often celebrate like the Commonwealth, the good of the common.
So
And
you're
Who should
saying
get a statue first, Tom Brady or David Ortiz?
Brady.
You think?
Yeah. because he brought 6 championships.
6 championships.
Ortiz-
That's true. Yeah, that is
6.
true. Yeah.
Ortiz, though, definitely should have one too. Why not?
Together, they should go
Hold on.
together. holding each other's
I shouted
hands.
out. I shouted out David Ortiz. And
Yeah,
Philly,
he won
too.
3 championships. Like, why
You heard
not?
me? Yeah, I don't think
Come
you
on.
heard me.
Big
I
deal.
shouted out. I shouted out David Ortiz too.
Big time. Yeah.
She called me
Poppy.
Poppy, and I never missed.
I forgot about that. I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
yeah. David Ortiz
All
is the
right.
man. Shout out to
Big
him.
shout out David Ortiz.
Yeah, shout out to Big.
We don't
Poppy.
win 04 without him.
Right.
Like the curse isn't broken. Like we've won 4 championships since then. None of that would have happened without him.
Clutch.
So yeah,
Yeah.
the best clutch hitter in baseball history. That's not a debate. I've done the research. All right, I've written articles about this. Like nobody has more walk-off hits than him. It's not even close.
Jack's not playing
So
now.
I'm
But-
not.
But seriously, but the same way we gotta give love to Big Poppy. It's like, yes, make the statue for him, but come on now, we gotta do that for Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Is it too
We
late
got it.
now, though?
No, it's
No,
not
it's
too
never
late.
too late.
It's not
Okay.
too late.
Too late.
I don't care if he wins another one in Tampa, but if we show him his proper love, I bet he'd be like, this is what I was supposed to always get.
Another thing that's fucked up is when he went to Tampa, they took down whatever like banners they had of him around Gillette Stadium. They took it all down after he went to Tampa. Like they were like, as long as he's still in the league and not playing for us, we're gonna forget that he exists, basically.
Yeah,
Like,
we
and it
gotta
was
stop
crazy.
doing that. Like the same.
Petty Patriots.
Yeah, I don't like that.
We
I
get a
don't
little
like that.
petty, but like the same way how when we lost the finals, it's like we lost the finals. Like, oh, we need to talk about if we're gonna
Jason
trade
Tatum. Like, come
Jason
on.
Tatum or Jalen Brown. It's like, whoa,
It's like, whoa, why were we even in the finals in the first place?
Yeah,
Right.
Because of those guys. Like,
Right.
come on.
They beat KD and Kyrie. Are
right.
you kidding
And
me?
now we got Malcolm Brogdon and Gallinari, and we're gonna be back in the finals
which
next
I
year.
I loved
Yeah.
those
We're gonna
off-season trades.
we're gonna win the
off-season
finals next
moves.
year. I'm calling it right now. Book it.
Book it.
Yeah, you know.
That's the clip.
And I put my money up. I lost money, but you know, so I
On the
So,
Celtics, you put
of
money
all
on?
of all people that should be upset, I could be upset.
You
Come
put money
on
on the
now, are you
Celtics?
kidding me?
Mhm.
Why would you even ask me that question? I wouldn't put money on anybody else.
I love that.
Shout out to my C's. Listen,
Yes.
I do it again.
What was the first season that you became a Celtics fan?
I've been a Celtics fan. I'm just
Was
born.
like the
I was
first
just made like
you
that.
Were, all right, you were just born a Celtics fan.
I was born a Celtics fan. I
Okay.
was made like that. My first memories of Celtics game was my auntie Linda.
Mhm.
I feel like I don't know how she used to do it, but she used to bring us in a limo to the Celtics
go.
game.
Shout
I
out
can
to
remember
Auntie Linda.
shout out to Auntie Linda. I can remember her bringing me to Celtics games in a limo.
That's
and just
cool.
like, yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
The Celtics, the C's, this is it.
Mhm.
And so that was just
So that
going
was
to
what in the 90s?
90s, yeah.
Okay.
Going to the games in the 90s and then in 2000s.
90s was a rough time for the Celtics, but that's late 90s is when I first got into the Celtics, like early 2000s, and it was fun. Like even though they weren't that good, it was like Paul Pierce was the man, Antoine Walker, like, I love
Antoine
those
Walker
days.
doing the wiggle.
The shimmy, yeah.
Right.
Love that.
right, exactly.
And then 02 they got to the conference finals and it was like it came back alive a little bit. The Celtic pride came back alive.
Right, then we had our big three
Right.
and we actually won one. So it's, you know, and now we got the Jays. and
We're in
we
a
gotta,
good position right
We
now.
we gotta ride with the Jays.
Yes.
And shout out to Marcus Smart too, defensive player of the year. You know,
True.
we got a lot of
Yes.
things going for us.
Brogdon next year is going to be huge. We need another guy who can score off the bench. Gallinari too. That was the issue in the playoffs. We didn't have enough bench scoring.
We did not. And people, I've been saying this. The teams in basketball that are winning now are the teams that have 6 or 7 players that are scoring in double digits. And I would say like a huge difference was Gary Payton. That's a huge loss.
Yeah.
Gary Payton that's a huge loss for Golden State.
Yeah.
And Jordan Poole. They both in the games that they won, they both showed up and
Yeah.
they showed up big.
True.
And our guys who were showing up, they just didn't do the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, Grant Williams disappeared in the finals. Like honestly, everybody played bad in the finals.
JB, I would say played pretty
JB
solid.
probably played the best,
He
but
probably played the best.
there was a lot of guys who underachieved in the finals, and I think that was just like the being spooked by the Warriors. They've been there. They've won 3 championships already. It was like they had the championship experience. We have playoff experience, but we didn't have finals experience.
Right. I was a little disappointed because it was like we almost went back to like the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
How we were playing in the beginning of the
And
season.
that was a fear of mine. Like the whole second half, after we turned it around and we're doing so great, I always had that fear, like in the back of my head, we're just gonna go back to the way we were playing in the beginning of the season, and that kind of happened in the finals a little bit once we got scared. But
right, like not trusting each other.
Yeah.
Just like
it's like going into panic mode, like, oh no, I need to take over this game and try to get us back into it.
like
And
no,
it's
we
like
won
that.
by playing together.
Right, exactly.
That's what we need to do.
Yep. Next year is gonna be better.
For
Jason Tatum is still only 24 years old, which is crazy.
sure. And what is JB 25?
25. So they say your prime is like 27 to 30, so they're not even
Right.
there yet.
Not even
So-
nowhere close.
Right.
So we got to just be patient. But I believe I believe we'll win a few.
At least 2.
Like-
we
like
got to
ju-
win at least 2.
Just like
We got to
you
get the
know,
first one first, though.
but how we about to get the spotlight with the basketball? I feel like we're gonna get the spotlight with the music too.
That's what I've been
We're
saying.
gonna do that for a little bit. We're gonna do
That's
that.
what I've been saying. So the passion,
Spotlight got to come.
the
to
passion
Boston.
that Boston has for their sports teams, I feel like we can have that for the music scene too. Like if we start really winning, you know.
Right, and so like you said about the music, that's why I'm like I gotta make music that my city can get behind.
Yes. Something
And-
that's like exclusive to Boston that gives you a little bit of hometown pride when you listen to it.
Right, exactly. And so that was my focus is just like I want to make music that people can be proud about from
Mhm.
my city. Yeah, and something that where I'm not chasing other sounds where, a sound that I've been working on since I was a teenager.
So you would say your sound on your new EP is something that is not influenced at all by like any new artists or anything. It's something that you've just
No, definitely not by new artists. No.
You looked offended by the question.
I would, yeah. I mean, a lot of my favorite artists come from the '90s.
yeah.
And,
That's what yeah.
and at the same time, even though I was fans of theirs, a lot of my favorite artists, they aren't really making music that would fit into today. So I feel like I'm pretty much creating what I want to hear.
I like that. So it's based on, just music you've been listening to since the 90s. It's like-
Music I've been listening to since the '90s, and then like '90s, 2000s. I think that was music that I was feeling, and like I still listen. I still pay attention to what's going on.
yeah.
But I don't think I'm influenced by.
Like you're never trying to adapt to what's popping right now, right? Like
No.
anything like that.
No.
Right.
It kind of sounds like there still would be like an evolution. It's not like you're recreating music
Yeah.
in the style of the 90s. It's music that you want to hear, music that you like. That's what you grew up with. So that's where it sort of came. It's a blend of probably, I imagine, the modern take that you just have now from going through and hearing new music,
Right.
and then putting that on a style that you already like. So it's something it's just music you wanted to make, but it definitely has, I think, that spice of like some modern tones just from your experiences that are going to come out in the music now. So
Exactly.
Mm,
Because I'm
yes.
still listening to the music that's out now. Like I still
Exactly,
go
yeah.
out.
It's
have
hard
a
to
good
avoid
time.
it. Like,
Right, exactly. So to be like, oh, I'm not influenced by any music that's out now. That's definitely not the truth. So like, I'm
Okay.
definitely influenced by life.
Yeah.
So life is music. Whatever music's now, I believe that there is like a oneness. We're one people. We are experiencing life at one time. Like so, you can't escape being influenced by whatever's out right now. And like my thing is too is that like I'm not trying to chase an old sound. I'm trying to stay where I'm at and
You're not
awesome.
trying to chase any sound necessarily. You're just
No,
kinda
no.
making whatever comes to you.
Whatever
Right.
feels right.
Whatever feels right. Yeah.
Exactly.
I like that. That's the way it should be, honestly. I feel like a lot of people are too influenced by their surroundings.
Yeah, you don't wanna
You know what I
force
mean?
it.
They're too influenced by what they're hearing. They're like, oh, this is working, so I should try to bring that into my music somehow. It's like
Yeah.
you start to overthink it.
We've heard somebody say that like there's apparently this is like some labels they'll sit in a room and say like, all right, we have to make the next California Girls, you know, and they'll just like make that song basically.
Yeah, no, labels are
have
like
somebody
that.
else do it.
Labels
so
are like that.
it's it is kind of weird. So when you're just like I'm making music that is me, and I mean this speaking as the artist, like this is music that isn't trying to be anyone else. It might have, and the thing is, sometimes there is that parallel thinking. Of course, like it's hard to make something that has never, like the core piece of music is still there, I guess. So something could have similarities to modern things, but you're not copying something specifically. You know, that's kind of like where it comes from, I guess. But we've talked about that, the organic process before.
Right.
Moving it out there. I did want to ask, we mentioned the merch really quickly. Is there a website we can get that?
My website is antthomas.com. OIMC.com is coming. OIMC.com is a website that currently exists, but there's only a couple of my old videos on it, so I need to update that. But the merch will be on antthomas.com and OIMC.com, and that is coming really soon. So, but right now, the people that have the merch are the people that are in the know. And so
Let's go.
and so like it is like I'm intentionally also like building community and like a little bit of an exclusive, a little bit of a privileged way. Like, you know, if you're in my community, you know, you got the privilege to be around. So, you know, you might have some merch. Like the people that got merch right now, they got it for free. Like,
Really?
That's true.
yeah.
I did get this for free.
You should have paid.
That's true.
and no, but that's the thing. It's like, but the next round of merch that people get, they'll have to
Charged double.
pay. Yeah, charged up.
Charge double, yeah.
But
Oh,
yeah,
man.
exactly. So that's we're gonna charge people the next round. But like that's the thing. It's all about building community. And so whether it's merch, it's like it's a message, and the message is what I'm trying to get people to buy into.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, the whole listening party thing was like perfectly executed, and giving out the goodie bags and everything. Like it was great. Like you left with a piece of, you know, there was a lot of good stuff in there. There was the gummies that I thought were weed gummies, but they
Oh
weren't.
yeah, that's so funny. That's like the mystery of it. I mean, like a few gummies in a pack, I definitely would be questioning. Like,
Yeah. But no, they were. What were they exactly?
They were elderberry or turmeric gummies.
Okay, and they're
Oh, elderberry or
Elderberry or. They weren't both. They were
Okay.
elderberry or. So, and I actually had there was a postcard in there that had everything that was in your privilege pack bag.
Mhm.
And so people assume that they might have been getting edibles, and it definitely said elderberry or turmeric gummies. So there was nothing nefarious.
Okay.
It did. Yeah, it did say that. I read it
which
after.
one did you have?
I don't know.
So the elderberry were the purple ones, and the turmeric
I had
were
the
like
purple
yellow.
ones. I had
Okay,
the
so you
purple
had
one.
elderberry.
Okay.
It
They were
doesn't.
good.
Don't they make gin out of elderberry? I think.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm seeing yes.
Don't
Thank you.
give me the lion.
I don't know. It doesn't. What is a?
Cake Sweat says yes. She's usually right.
Yes. Thank you. Fact check. We elderberry has isn't it like therapeutic or something? Like it has good properties like that.
It helps build up your immune system.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay, I was gonna say when my house COVID got through my house way back in December, and we had elderberry. One of my family members dropped it off because they said that apparently helps.
Yes.
But I also read you can't have it every day. Can't.
it kind of feels like everything is supposed to have in moderation.
Right. Yeah.
So I think that, there isn't any one thing that we should have too much.
That's true.
So
Except for water.
H2O, but look,
You can have too much water.
But look,
yeah.
you can have too much water. and
It's
that's
true.
when people
I guess.
drown.
Yeah, you're right.
Or that lady
That's a
that
lot of
wanted
water,
to get
though.
the Wii in
It's like-
2007 from the Romero thing.
I forgot about that. Stop.
But you said people can't die
I
from
know.
water, so I'm
I
out here
forgot
proving you
about
wrong.
that.
Live.
I forgot about that. What was that? What was that contest?
Hold your Wii for a Wii.
We're just trying to tell you, water is great, but it got to be moderated too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Water is great. You must moderate.
That's a bar. That's a bar.
That's a bar.
All right, so the EP. When will the EP, the full thing, be out?
We doing September, October. We'll be
Okay.
September, October,
All right.
and we'll have the
It better
EP.
be a day I'm free.
We'll have the EP and short film ready September, October. So
Let's go.
we're like literally still putting the finishing touches on everything. So that's why we don't really know exactly when.
Okay. But it's in the works. You got 2 singles out so far.
Yes, they're doing well, getting a lot of love. Shout out to y'all. I see that you all keep it in you all's playlist, so I
Of course,
appreciate y'all.
of course. We try to stay up to date with everything, and your name. I'll just like as soon as Bedlam invited me to that listening party, I was like, all right, this dude is obviously important, and then and then I heard the music, and I was like, all right, I'm on board now. I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
Word, that's
100%.
fire. That's
Yeah.
fire.
So we appreciate you coming, definitely, and
Oh man, we just lost the cameras there
Oh,
too.
no.
So we got the big one, so we're good.
Oh,
We're still
no.
good on the big one. But
but yeah, no, we appreciate you making the trip.
Appreciate
And,
y'all for having me.
yeah,
We'll
thank you.
definitely be doing more things in the future. We'd love to get you on a show or something. We've been hosting shows lately, so
Forgive me if we had asked this already. Speaking of shows, do you have anything coming up? Are you going to be performing, or is that after it drops?
I just had I just performed at a block party, a Tiny Trap event, and that was fire. But upcoming, I'm kind of chilling right now. So I know that September, October, that's when I'll be back super active.
mhm.
I may have like a couple of performances in August, but like I'm kind of chilling for the most part till September, October.
All right, we
Then
might
I'll
got a spot in August for you.
Word, but yeah, shout out to Tiny Trap. Shout out to Open Streets because that was this Sunday. That was fire. I just performed there, and the Boston Globe. They actually took a nice little picture of me too. So shout out to the Boston
Nice.
Globe too.
Big shouts
Yeah,
in the paper. That's how.
That's big.
That is a bit. I love that stuff when you can just like go and see yourself on the front page or something. Like, wow, not like
Right.
I've ever been, but I feel like if you, I just feel like if you were like like I just can imagine that excitement of like looking and seeing yourself on there.
right. Jeez, if my phone was close, I don't know where I put it. Oh, I put it right here. So I sent it to my family chat, and I sent it, and that was cool because like we spoke a lot about sports, and I sent it to my family chat, and my mom said something that I thought was nice. She said, "All right, son, still put ink up in these papers. Proud of you, son."
Shout out to mom.
Shout
Oh,
out to
man.
mommy. For
Love
real.
that. That's awesome.
Love that. Yeah, putting ink up in the papers.
Right.
Perfect.
Still doing it, but shout out to music and art because that's how I'm still staying current and still,
Big shout out to music and
Enter
art.
my
Where the
music-
hell would we be
my
without them?
messages. I don't know where we
Like,
be.
you know what I mean? Just like
Love those guys.
even people who don't, we all consume art. Like
Oh yeah.
most of our free time is spent consuming art. I feel like
Absolutely.
so that's just so important.
The
Artists don't get
side of
paid
your
enough.
brain. Right, for real. Especially in Boston. Boston, we got to do better.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Mm.
Like they're
Who
like
specifically can do better? Let's list them.
I'm specifically talking about the city of Boston or the Commonwealth of Massachusetts with supporting artists because
Mm.
the city of Boston will literally give you artist housing and then they will book you for an artist show, and they just ain't adding up. The artist pay versus what we gotta pay for artist housing. It's like if I had to live off of what you pay me, I would be living outside.
Yeah. Definitely don't make it easy for creators. I mean, especially with I don't know, I feel like the cost of living around here too. Extra hard.
Cost rent too goddamn high party.
I'm definitely for
The
that.
rent is too goddamn high.
Too goddamn high. And that's inflation is always going up. But our pay ain't never going up. So it's just like
Not as
can't
much
have
as
both.
inflation.
We can't have
It's
both. We
crazy.
can't have both happening.
Right.
So I think that maybe there's some ways that we could do things differently. But when you understand the economy, that's why you do things like support your city.
Mhm.
When you
Exactly.
understand economy.
Yeah, no, when you really understand how this stuff works and like the people who need help, like that's, you'll support the things that need to be supported. It's like you just got to understand that this
there's
shit
certain-
isn't easy.
Certain ones of us who get it. Boston's Big
Yeah.
Four. Boston Big Four. Y'all get it. Y'all a building community. Word.
We're
Shout out
trying.
to y'all. Shout out
Trying
to
to,
y'all
yeah.
for building a community.
No, we love
Trying to.
doing everything we can at least to bring attention to the artists around here. Like
Right.
it's fun for us, honestly. Like
Yeah.
we love watching the scene grow and like even just seeing someone like Bia blowing up and Millies and shit and just like not even people on that level, just anyone. Like we love seeing everybody grow because we've been supporting the scene for a few
Yeah.
years now. Like I remember in high school, our friend Eastman, who I started the podcast with, he got me into like terminology and like slang and EDOG, and like I was probably like 14 at that time, and that's when I started having like pride in like the local music scene. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, there's really talent, because before that I didn't know any artists from Boston. So I was like, oh, there's actually talent from out here, and like I started to feel pride in it the way I feel like pride in our sports teams and everything.
Right.
I was like, we got the best artists. Like fuck New York. You know what I
Word,
mean?
word,
like, I started
exactly.
feeling like that.
Word.
So,
Fire.
I just have a passion to bring light to all these great artists out here, and kind of make us kind of like a powerhouse.
Word.
So
Word.
that's
Yeah.
what we're trying to do.
Well, and the community, like you were saying, is so fun. Like some of right now, I mean, of course, doing the podcast, but it's more like a one-on-one type of a situation. Some of my favorite moments since we've started doing this together have been out at these shows, like at the Jungle. A bunch of artists are there, a bunch of people that like music are there, and we're all having fun together. It's
Yeah.
an event. It's something.
Especially
we're
when we
all-
bring artists together who don't even know each other, and then they
Right.
meet each other, and they're like, "Oh, we should work together." Like I love that
It's
shit.
the best, yeah. And
Yeah.
there's a few people that I'm pretty sure only know about each other because we brought it up.
Yeah,
And
no,
then-
it's true. I
then
love
they
that.
started
It was
working together
Chase
now, yeah.
Murphy. Like he had John Glass produce a song on his album, and
Yeah.
I posted it, and John Glass was like, "Oh, he's like, I actually found out about him because of one of your posts." I was like, "That's crazy."
Yeah. So
Like-
you basically we're driving the
No,
hip hop
that's
scene
not what
in
I'm saying.
Boston.
I'm
Nah,
just
nah,
saying,
that's,
you know,
that's no, you are.
No,
Just I need you
No
to step
credit.
into that power.
we get zero credit.
No, but you are part of it. That's the thing. Like we need
We're just a part of it. That's the thing. Like it takes a lot of parts,
absolutely.
But it's fun. I think like what we were talking about before, we want to do like bigger shows at the Middle East, like maybe combining the upstairs and downstairs, something like that, where it's almost like there's places to hang. It's not just like there's just a whole thing going on. There might be people in between. There might be people at this show or that show or up and
Right.
down. That all that type of stuff. I mean, like the hoop hop sounds exactly like what I want to do. So I want to go there too. But yeah, just that is my favorite part about it, and I think that's what Boston probably needs more of.
Right.
So the community, we build each other up. Something that actually comes up all the time. We always say it takes a village. Like you need people to help promote, manage, come to shows, like just even help you with your merch, like anything. It's takes so many people, and the art is just part of it. So
Right. The artist is a lot of times the champion. So the artist, like that's why I look at myself as like I got to create the energy. So I got to create the energy that wants y'all to have me here, and you all are also creating energy that wants people to be here. So You know,
Yeah,
it's on us.
it is.
Absolutely.
So I don't want to keep you here all night, but I did want to know: do you have any plugs in particular? Any? We got your website. Your
AntThomas.com.
AntThomas.com, Instagram, Ant Thomas.
Ant_Thomas, the number 2, the letter F.
Cool. We'll put that up
Word.
on the screen. Anybody else? Clothing people? Anyone like designers? Anybody you want to shout? Or is everybody trash?
No. I'm gonna shout out my event planning company, Deuce Fam. Let me shout them out. Let me shout out my one of my close friends. He has a organization with he does with football. It's Next Era Panthers. Shout out to them. Shout out to all of the Pop Warner Boston teams: Mattapan Patriots, Boston Raiders, Dorchester Eagles. Shout out Cathedral Panthers. And
Let's
then
go.
shout out to everybody on my team, OIMC, and everybody that supports OIMC. That's it.
Love that. Thank you for coming on.
Appreciate it. Ant Thomas.
Word. And Thomas.
Privilege Pack. Full thing will be out September, October.
September,
around-
October.
All right.
Look for it.
But in the meantime, Feel Me and Better are both out right now.
Right. Feel Me and Better. Check them out.
All platforms.
Press play, all platforms.
All right. It's a wrap.